Here at Mountain Esports, we take it to the next level. Our players have the ability to travel, compete, and even participate on the caffeine committee. Check out the Insta to see what's new with Mountain Esports today.
At the Mount, things are, well, elevated. And it's not just because we're on a mountain. The experience at a small college like Mount Aloysius is actually personal. The faculty and staff know my goals. It's a level of support you won't find at other colleges. And the Mount backs it up with career-focused partnerships and majors. As soon as I visited, it just felt like home. That's what makes this place different. Makes college elevated. Mount Aloysius College.
You have more important things in life to think about than your internet. At Breezeline, we propel life forward with home internet so reliable, you don't have to think about it. With a team that goes above and beyond. Fiber-powered speeds up to 1 gig. And 99.9% reliability at any hour. In any room. You won't have to think about your internet again. Go to breezeline.com for internet that propels life forward.
In the meantime, JoJo, both supports down for Westmont, Hilltop, and Penn Manor just doesn't miss a beat in this. I mean, talk about a team playing almost flawlessly here together. As we congratulate them with a big GG's. It was a hard-fought day by Central Buck South and Westmont Hilltop as they put on one heck of a show for us. But at the end of the day, there can only be one winner, and Penn Manor closes it out in dominating fashion.
Aggression. We're going to be seeing the fight coming out from the Venture. There's going to be the wall coming on from the Baptiste, but Leaf versus Bully going to be able to find a double kill with the ultimate, make it a quadra, make it a penta. But you can't call them losers just yet. We see the overclock getting popped. Artie finds one, continuing their domination. Oh my god, Q! Artie unable to be stopped, dominating the battlefield.
South, but they have now regained it by taking out the Cassidy. The anti-nade falls onto the Bastion, and with that being said, it is just a matter of cleaning up the front and back line.
Zamir, just dive forward.
Auto glasses get used alongside the Death Blossom. I mean, that is just a free entryway for Wrong Long.
2 HP, now 0. And slamming the back, walking out of spawn. Homa Center simply not allowed to breathe.
This is disrespectful. The tank is the one doing the you can see like DPS players doing this sometimes if they're on a tracer. One gets found, two gets found. Both DPS are down for the count. Make it a triple, make it a quadra. Silence gonna bring this team back on into the driver's seat.
We asked 10 Mountie Esports players 10 specific questions, and these are their answers.
Watermelon Ice from Gamer Subs.
Ghost Energy, either the cans or the pre-workout, either work.
So I used to be a Ghost favorite, but now
Too long.
White Monster for sure.
Monster, the Fantasy Red Ruby.
The Mountie GG Gamer Subs that they provide. Taco Bell, absolutely.
McDonald's is so much better.
Taco Bell has to be. I've eaten too much McDonald's since it's right down the street.
McDonald's. I like the Oreo McFlurries.
I'm gonna choose Taco Bell because it gives me less stomach problems than McDonald's does.
McDonald's all the way.
There's levels to this, and Taco Bell is at the top one.
Sheets guy all the way.
I actually don't know what Wawa is, but Sheets.
I gotta say Wawa. I grew up with Wawa, and I just think the food's better.
Sheets is the best thing to grace our planet.
I'd have to go with Sheets. Definitely rough.
Injustice, no J-Naps.
Hydron, probably.
Probably T-Crow.
Either Skippy or T-Crow.
Croc.
Pokemon Red for the Game Boy Color.
Webkins. That was the first video game I've ever played. Webkins. Oh my god.
League of Legends. Sadly, that was the first game. That's one of the only games that I played. I just enjoy it so much.
Mario Kart 7 on the DS.
No bully.
Probably PGE.
Welcome back, everybody, to another amazing Overwatch 2 cast on the PIEA2 channel. My name is Act1E-Man. Joined by me is none other than...
Cherry J on the mic. We got a big game ready for you all. Witnessing in this game, we will be looking towards Westmont Hilltop versus Windber in the Division 3 PIEA 2025-2026 fall season. We're going on to Busan to start us off tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, a strong header between two strong teams. Time and time again, both Windber and Westmont Hilltop have shown dominance within the PIEA/DEC, and this time we'll be seeing no different, as this is going to be an undefeated matchup between these two rosters, one being 2-0, one being 1-0, only having a couple games behind their belt. Windber needing to find that second win. Westmont Hilltop looking to defend a roster matching up against so much dominance. We're going to have to wait and see. Oh, looks like I've been cut off a little bit too short. Oh, there we go. There we go. We're back. We're looking good. I think, I hope, maybe, and yes, I hope, maybe, yes. There we go. And I am back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ripe and ready for a fantastic series on the docket, as yeah, we're going to have to wait and see what these two teams do have in store for us here in Division 3 of the PIEA.
You know, Busan, I took a train there once. I didn't really have a good time, though. You know, the happenings on the train didn't... I was kidding. I was making a joke about the movie Train to Busan, but I've never been there.
I've never heard of that movie.
I'm not entirely sure the year that it came out, but
Is it good?
I've heard a lot of good things about it. I've heard nothing but good things about it, to be honest. So I think I would want to check it out.
Train then.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it was a good train. You're right. Looks like we're loading in right now, as we already chose the map and everyone's all ready. So we're about to hop back into Champ Select. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Hero Select.
League. We're playing League now.
Oh no, that's embarrassing. I
don't even know. What even would this be, like? Hero Select?
Yeah, Hero Select. I think because they're heroes. So
are they heroes?
Yeah, Overwatch heroes. You know, like how every different like multiplayer game has like different multiplayer names.
Yeah, I mean, you look towards like Valorant. You got like Agent Select. You got Rocket League. What do you even call that? Car Select.
I guess so. Vehicle Select, maybe.
You never hear like Junker Queen get referred to as a hero though, because she's kind of not. She's kind of evil sometimes, but
she's very evil, especially against Omnics.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, maybe it would be a hero in their own right for their own country. I mean, I guess everyone's a hero for someone. You see the new My Hero Academia season.
I haven't seen it, no, but I've heard things about it.
It's really good. It's really good. You got to watch it. But we are going to get right on into the match. Oh my god, I love these comps. Westmont Hilltop actually running like kind of the tried and true meta that we are going to be seeing in current like OWCS, which kind of makes sense. They have a lot of roster talent behind all three of their teams. It's a plethora of players that really do make up a strong combination when it comes to being able to kind of find that value when it comes to working with each other, finding strategies, initiating them. Windber going for a bit of an unorthodox composition, matching the Mei and the Freya, a bit of a longer range, looking to poke out from distance by the looks of it, as we are going to be seeing the Junker Queen already kind of forcing out a bit of cooldowns from the opposing Ramatra, taking the Vortex with them. Windber going to be playing aggressive, forcing out the recall. Cleanse comes out, going to be able to get a little bit of healthiness over to the rest of the Westmont Hilltop roster.
This is so far an insane thing we see. We see WSE Esports over on the Freya trying to take a couple pot shots here, trying to defend against a Tracer in their backline. Right now we have Cat using Shout to go and keep themselves sustained in that fight, trying to push up on the Ramatra. Not able to get much headway though, as, ooh, so close on that axe swing, but the Suzu is there just in time, allowing Ramatra to get for him and stay in the fight. But he is walled off by the Mei. You have no supports here, man. You might be cooked. There it is, as well as the Kiriko that tried to TP as well, goes ahead and falls down. Vic Masuko on the Tracer.
It's a strong play from Windber to be able to create a commanding start after Westmont Hilltop instantly takes the point, gaining 40%. But that leeway is not going to be stood for long as Windber collecting it instantaneously with a couple ults coming online. We will be seeing the bullet shot on line for Windber. Only ultimate they'll have on the bat, but they're going to have a couple more coming in pursuit. Westmont Hilltop in a similar situation with the Pulse Bomb, looking to possibly be able to isolate one, but you really do look towards that Kiriko on both rosters to be able to find that neutralization towards both DPS ults, as realistically, they could be instantly shut down with just that one click of the Suzu.
And it looks like we right now have Blade and Annihilation online for Westmont Hilltop, along with Kitsune Rush as well. We'll see how they use that in this next team fight as it begins. Looks like so far someone is chasing down over that Mei, but Mei gets out just in time. Point's gonna go ahead and go over almost towards Westmont Hilltop's side as a couple more fall, but now the Point's gonna go ahead and get on there. Looks like it's a 49 to 36 in terms of percentage, with Westmont Hilltop being on top.
Westmont's is doing so much right now, and we will be seeing Windber activating the Shout from the distance, getting a little bit of speed on a line, but that cooldown needing to be recharged gives a little bit of leeway for Westmont Hilltop to start setting up, looking to stage on the high ground possibly. As of now, though, someone just taking a decent trip down. Shield goes out. They do still have the punch base available if they do opt in for it, but Westmont Hilltop, they got a lot of ults coming in pursuit from both sides, actually. The Rampage first thing out, they're scrutinized down.
Oh, and there is the Rampage and the Annihilation and Kitsune Rush ignited, along with the counter rush as well. And there's the Freya ultimate coming in. Cat is picking up anybody and everybody left, right, and center, running it into the face of the Ramatra. He can't do anything to stay alive here against the Junker Queen. Seems like Omnix will fall after all, as Queen's gonna pick up one more to flip the point for Windber's advantage here. 93 to 42%, or 43%, excuse me.
Alex taking a bit too much comfort in that distant position, and Cat will barely be able to strike while the iron is hot, taking the elimination. Windber now gonna have to really pull out all the stops with only one team fight remaining for Westmont Hilltop, and they will be able to secure this first point. But as of now, we look towards Vince Mascua, who's taking a bit of a decent situation, making it a little bit better as they create pressure on the left side. Blade out, going to be the... Oh, they go in deep as Alex finds one. They want the second, but the cleanse takes them down. As the
he was so close to getting out of there too. That's a big blizzard coming in from Funsize, able to freeze about 4 out of 5 teammates. And that's a team kill for Windber. They might just secure 99% here, and they might force it to overtime as long as Westmont Hilltop is able to touch. We don't see any changes coming out, so it may not be somewhat of a Doomfist angle. We still have the Tracer and the Genji able to move quick and move fast. But so far, Genji's gonna fall fast to Funsize. Tracer is on the point to trigger the overtime, though, to keep them in the fight. Someone does it and takes out WAS Esports, and there's the sound barrier getting ignited. So far, nothing. Oh, sound barrier was not ignited, excuse me.
Cat's gonna take up one. Connor not able to get the beat off. Cat takes a double kill, bringing out the Knife as the axe doesn't find too much value. Angry Alex takes down Fun Size with Fun Size off the board. It limits the speed as Cat gonna get the next kill. Shutting down 2 with a bullet shot. WASD Esports bringing it back in the favor, but it's still looking like Angry Alex is going to be that shining ray of hope. The Kiri TP back on into the action. Angry Alex with a little bit more presence on the point, looking like they might be able to shut down one more player. The Sombra back on into the action for Fun Size, swapping off the May. Dash on in, gets the refresh, trying to go for the high ground, able to connect as there's so many players just luring on top as a triple hit from the Genji to the Kiriko. Rage May King taking the damage. We will be seeing the rush activated. Beat in store. It's dominant as Westmont Hilltop in another stalemate as they recapture the point.
And that's a great recap there from Westmont Hilltop. I want to give a good shout out to Angry Alex right now on the Genji. He held on to that point for quite some time, and he's still continuing to do so as slowly but surely Windber's trying to come in, see if anybody can touch, but no one is going to be able to stay alive for longer than about 5 seconds with Westmont Hilltop on the prowl. And Angry Alex as well, just picking up anybody and everybody to go and secure them this round.
A dominant start as Angry Alex and Tats playing in unison, taking that point by storm, allowing someone to get back on through to the point and giving the sound barrier complete presence of mind. Windber barely on the cusp of being able to shut down that round, but without the time, Westmont Hilltop takes the first round. Still though, they got a best of 3 ahead of them. It is going to be match point for Westmont, but they still have to secure these last 2. Tat's going to move over from the Kiriko to the Moira, looking to make a bit of a change. Devious Rat moving from the Lucio, gathering speed onto a bit of a more utility-based hero in the Lifeweaver. So certainly going to be a couple changes on the support line in general, as Connor also going to move over to the Mercy. We'll see what kind of dividends this will provide as Westmont Hilltop are on that match point, as I previously was kind of bringing up, and it certainly seems as if they want to shut down this map right here now.
It definitely does seem like that's the case as well. As we continue, or we can begin with the fight, we see Angry Alex going in to take a couple hits, but he is taking a lot of damage, so he is forced all the way back, especially by this Moira. Moira against the Genji is honestly a good pick because you simply can't deflect the damage that Moira can do to you.
Damage being applied to someone staying alive. Angry Alex picking up another, seeming like this point shall be converted as Devious Rat getting a bit of overzealousness for their bearings. Windber going to be falling down completely as the DPS being completely overwhelming, and Windber's now going to fall down. The point will have to be recaptured as Westmont Hilltop did not get any percentage within that time period. Now Cat respawns and it gives them limitless time to be able to set up.
And that's, I believe, something that you just have to watch out for whenever you're playing these games. You know, you can go for these kills and secure the team kill, but you also do have to have someone on the point. Just go and get that security just so you can get the percentages up to there faster. Generally, I think that's just the biggest thing. But Vince Masuka is able to pick up Moira. Devious Rat falls down to the pole spawn. That's a huge pick from Westmont Hilltop side. It's going to allow them to stay in this fight and secure and shut down anything and everything, forcing Fun-Sized to go into cryostasis there, as we see Waz Esports trying to go ahead and fight this Genji here. Annihilation is online. It might be ignited here as someone's going to fall down, and Rampage is actually ignited first, able to take out 2 and 3 as Cat's going to go on a Rampage themselves and take out 4 to secure the point for Windber.
A quadra kill from Cat. Going to be investing in ultimate heavily as complete dividends will be pursued, as now Vince is the only one on Westmont Hilltop not on the ultimate online status, as we're going to be seeing that blade coming up quick. As you'd imagine, they're going to want to activate it off this to shout, as without the piece of utility coming in, the shielding going to be a little bit lower. Deflect comes in immediately, going to be pushing through Cleanse to limit the damage, as Angry Alex taking so much impact from the opposition will fall down. Was off the board. Looking good for Windber, but not for long as the res comes through. Fun Size off the board as well, and that leaves him with nothing. Windber down and out as Westmont Hilltop picks this point back up where they left it.
100%. And we see the Coalescence is going to get ignited as well from Windber's side. You still have the Kitsune Rush online. They might be there for the next fight. Rage Bait's going to go ahead and fall, and Devious Rat's going to fall right there again. Angry Alex is picking up the last one for Windber. full team wipe. Westmont Hill's going to go ahead and wipe the entirety of Windber here for this fight. They're going to secure that point for even much more higher percentage. So far, we have seen nothing but Westmont Hilltop dominate the field in this map.
Coalescence is no longer in contention for the side of Windber. Not having that sustainability going to be limiting their patience, you'd imagine, as they want to be a little bit antsy. Someone finding one with the Vortex West off the board, as without this May having any real allies on the point, they're going to be limited, as there is going to be the Blizzard active. Someone finds one. Connor gets traded, going for the Orb of Distortion, trying to make something happen, but Devious Rat's going to be playing from the heights with the Annihilation on a line for someone. They're going to have a lot of action to be playing around. Hinder Effect comes on through from the Bola shot, but it's still just going to be someone picking up another kill. Devious Rat down, and it's all just going to be Windber trying to secure any more percentage, but at 95, this game is done and dusted by the looks of it.
So far, from what it looks like, it just seems Westmont Hill's exactly what we just predicted. It's going to go ahead and take the rest of this game. Map 1 is going to go to Westmont Hill's side. Very, very dominant performance so far. It was over in a flash, to be honest, but we still have a lot of game left, a lot of series left as we look at the play of the game from Cat. I think it's that quadra kill. What do you think, Cherry?
To go again with that, as yep, there is going to be the rampage pulled. All 5 get hit. And that will be Cat doing so much dominance on this JQ. It's just not enough to find the round. We've seen them certainly as the MVP for the side of Windber. Westmont Hilltop has a lot of great shooters on this roster, but you really do have to look towards their Genji of Alex, who has been just so dominant when it comes to their positioning, their macro, their micro. It all looks fantastic. And that's something I look towards in a Genji player, as somebody who is being able to just kind of create pressure on opposition backlines and forcing out cooldowns. Windber haven't been able to hold them off so far. We'll see whether or not they will be inevitably able to handle them in map number 2, as they do get the choice. But it certainly seems as if Westmont Hilltop are poised to find this series.
Most definitely. I do want to also shout out a couple things that you mentioned as well. Alex being a great Genji is what we see and what we always want to see. A good Genji is able to get in, get a kill, and get out. And that's all we saw from Alex, to be honest. Is just able to just get in, get that quick kill, and get out, and get saved by their teammates. But not to mention, I do want to shout out the Ramatra and the Mercy player as well. I was a little skeptical about it, but with Ramatra being a little bit of a poke poke hero, along with Mercy just allowing poke heroes to, you know, maximize their potential, is a great combination along with the rest of the team being entirely dive. So I do think that that was just a great way to, you know, understand your team and understand how everybody works on your team and using that to the best of their advantage. So I wanted to give a big shout out to that for that team composition.
Certainly looking good. If you are on this Westmont Hilltop roster, their compositions are looking flawless, as they've been able to find so much success. I really liked the Lucio along with the Kiriko that they were pulling out. One of the more meta options in the current state of Overwatch has been being played at the highest level up towards the lowest. And with a Mercy with the Moira, it certainly does beg questions of whether or not they think this is a little bit more advantageous, whether or not this is something they want to look towards adding to their repertoire as a main stage. But right now, it certainly seems as if it will be pulling out dividends, as they are going to find a much more swift map number 1 in the second point rather than the first one, which really did go the distance. This time though, we move on. Map number 2 has been chosen. We're going on to hybrid, a main stage of this game mode, or this game of Overwatch. You usually will be seeing hybrid, as a PIEA team loves to pick it up. And actually, we're not going to be seeing that tried and true in the King's Row, something a lot of teams will love. The Scrim's Row gonna be out. Instead, we move up towards Eichenwald as our map number 2 and possibly our last map for Westmont Hilltop versus Windber of the night.
Looking at the composition so far, it seems like they're opting to kind of remain in the same tanks. Someone's still in the Ramatra and Cat is still in the Junker Queen. We do also see Angry Alex going from a Genji over to a Bastion, though. That's a nice one. Seems like they're mainly playing a lot of an anti-Rhine type of composition on Westmont Hilltop, but they're gonna need a rude awakening because Windber's not going anything Rhine related.
Crazy DPS swap up. Moving Alex over to the Bastion, we see Vince as well taking stand on the Symmetra. Really looking to put a stranglehold over this defensive first point. And as of now, Windber has a decent composition to be able to make some breakthroughs as the stealth from the Sombra and just the dominance shown from Junkrat, sorry. It can be very volatile, but it seems as if the side of Westmont Hilltop has already been able to play through that playbook and has just found this first kill, shutting down Fun Size before they're able to set up, find positioning, and now it seems as if Windber going for another aggressive stance, utilizing this commanding shout, unable to find too much impact with it. Instead, just going to have to concede back towards the corner.
Well, honestly, this is a great use of form along with the shield. Great use of communication there, but Vic Masuka is able to pick up Fun Size off on the side. Fun Size is not having a good time on this Sombra here. They're not able to get as much value as they thought they would be able to do so. As we see someone pummeling the Junkrat over in this wall right here. Waz Esports, unfortunately, is going to fall to the Ramatra in form. Ravenous Vortex is going to go ahead and get ignited here to go and take out the Junkrat Queen, but not able to get enough damage as the Suzu is ignited. Fun Size with a swap over to Ash here. Bob in this economy may be a tough thing to do, but I think it might be doable. The only thing I'm worried about is the Bastion.
There's still options for Windber. They are the first ones to the ultimates, but now as the coalescence is appearing, it certainly makes it a little bit less volatile, as there is going to be that standstill possible as there is the rush active. Still no investment from Westmont until we do see the wall in play off the Symmetra. Vince looking to just completely burn down the Tree of Life. Trap's going to connect, but the wall so strong, and a bit of overzealousness comes through as Windber down another player. Tire's going to come on the line for the WASD Esports, but as of now, they are still just looking to play a little bit slow. The slow-paced nature of Windber's composition is being maintained as Westmont Hilltop with this DPS line, making it so difficult to find any real special plays as they get forced out of every crazy position they go into. We see it time and time again. That one especially, the repetition going up towards heaven, still just dominated by the Bastion.
And it seems like the Bastion is just something that they have not been able to answer to quite yet. He's just been tearing up most of the team, and they haven't really been able to find an answer to it quite yet, as Cat's going to go and fall to Vic Masuka again. Form is going to go ahead and get ignited along with Ravenous Vortex. That's pretty much a lot of the pressure over Ramatra, so outside of that, he is forced to back up, which is what we're looking at right now. And right now, it's looking like the Westmont Hill is just keeping Windber at bay for the entirety of the match almost. And there's the Bastion is going to go ahead and get ignited here. Let's see if the Suzu's going to go ahead and get timed right. Probably didn't even need to do it. It wasn't able to hit anybody so far.
Certainly looking good. We will be seeing Vince finding another kill. Cat's finally going to be able to find an opening, but unfortunately the amount of lasers coming at him won't matter. It's still going to be Cat pulling up in style, and it seems like Windber might finally be able to conceal a fight to win, but so many players opting towards the point, looking to gather, rallying up in, as there's going to be the wall in play, looking to shut down. Cat able to do just that, as the wall came through from spawn, able to find so much value. Tats is down off the tire swing, but it's still Devious Rat looking to push through. Someone down to the trap of all things. Rez almost comes out as Connor's so close to being able to find this game back into the hands of Westmont, but it seems as if it's still gonna go their way. Angry Alex on a double kill. 10 seconds is all they're left with. The Lightweaver trying to make something happen. Alex goes in, pushes back, needing to concede. Vince taking the shield, pushing through, dancing around, finding Cat to a shiver of HP. Shield comes out into the action, but it's going to be the life grip to make this game more feasible, as they need so much value, but Cat's able to find Tats, shutting down the heals. Connor brings him back. Connor falls in exchange. Rage Bay King takes another death, as it's going to be someone to try and slow this down as much as possible, as the overtime barely gets touched back in. That's going to do it. Windber, no more options, no more second chances. They're down and out. They need to make a full hold to go to map 3.
And we see US Esports typing in the GG. They already think it's over. Oh my goodness, the thing that I just saw. That was an insane turnaround for the round. Jerry, how did that happen?
Really was all off the back of the angriest of Alex's taking a double kill. And I think you really also got to give it to players like Connor, who are just so risking the resurrection. Time and time again, they found success being able to bring somebody back into the engagement. without limiting anything, we are going to be seeing the side of this Windber roster looking to try and make some kind of changes, but unfortunately you can't. Not after the game has already started. Changing up the roles is not a possible thing to do, and unfortunately because of that they are going to be stuck on what they currently selected. So they are going to be keeping up the Kiriko. Fun Size taking the Reaper. We are going to be seeing Devious Rat making a move towards the Mercy. Fun Size taking it back. They both go towards that hit scan DPS selection. Cat's going to make their first switch of the series, taking on the Orisa as their new option. A little bit better into the Ramatra, in my opinion. We'll see what they can find. I loved Cat on the JQ. I don't think that their JQ is the problem whatsoever, so I do find it a little bit concerning, perchance. We'll see whether or not they can find the full hold, but it certainly is going to be difficult either way.
Windber looks like they're also opting for a Bastion Mercy, along with what Westmont's Hilltop's already been doing. So I'm thinking they're going to go and try to use that strategy a little better for them, but I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work, since Angry Alex has shown... I stand corrected, excuse me, as West Esports going to take out Angry Alex, but looks like the rest is going to go ahead and get ignited. So he does go ahead and gets a second chance here. Cat falling really low in HP, forced to use that E ability, that Javelin Spin, to go ahead and save the Mercy and save themselves. But they still are keeping everyone at bay, as Vic Masuka is going to go ahead and follow Angry Alex there to trade back on Fun Size, though. West Esports is also falling low in HP, forcing them all way back, and the Ramatra is there to go ahead and keep them at bay with the shield and with the damage boost from the Mercy.
There's the Resurrection. This is a necessary pivot from Windber off of the Lucio onto the Mercy, as it allows them to get that second chance. Fortify in, Cat down another. But Devious Rat's getting headshot by Vince. It leaves them with very little remaining in terms of their consistency regarding the healing output. And that'll do it. Windber gets shut down. The nail gets hit on the head of the coffin. And at this point, Westmont Hilltop finds their 2-0 victory over Windber, bringing them up 3-0 to take the #1 spot within the D3 Overwatch Conference, bring them one above Montgomery area, one above Wyoming Valley West, and now Windber gonna be up to 1-1, the only team to not have a 2-0 record at this point, or a 0-2 record at this point. So certainly still gonna be at the middle of the pack. Not at the bottom, certainly not out just yet, but it certainly will be a difficult position to come back from, as that limits their potential to make top 4 within the PIA to make it up to playoffs.
You know, there's one thing that I do want to say. That's something that I think is going to be with Windber. They are all very talented players. I think it's a down but not out situation, as what you just said. You know, they may have lost this one, but we might see them come back. I do think that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with a little bit later. We just have to keep an eye on them personally. But I do want to say that Hilltop, I messed up the names, excuse me. Westmont Hilltop, excuse me, did a great job today. And all around was just very dominant.
Certainly looks like both teams are definitely on the cusp of being those D3 champions, as they both put up a stellar performance tonight. But it is only one who can come out the winner. Unfortunately, that map 3 was not brought to us, but it is so unlikely to find those. You very rarely do within these kind of high school leagues, where it's not, you know, there's usually that kind of cut and dry better team. Depending on who's playing, there's sometimes those teams that do kind of get caught in a standstill, where you are going to be seeing, oh, we beat this team, they beat another. So maybe that will be the case where Windber will be able to clinch a playoff spot above some of these top teams, but it really is just something we will have to wait and see, as this was only their second game to be played within the PIA season. So there's still time for them to be able to adapt, change, find success later on, as it's still a long season to go. We're only halfway through, and they got a lot of games left to play. But next up on the docket is going to be Mohawk High School taking on Hempfield area. A bit of a East versus West matchup regarding these two schools. Hempfield 1-1 in the standings. Mohawk 2-0. Certainly could go either team's way. Mohawk having a bit of an advantage, but the round diff says differently. Right now, though, Act 1 E-Man. We're going to go to a quick little break. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. Don't change the Twitch channel, as we will be back right after this.
like this. I 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 like this.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're joining you once more here at the PIEA. We are returning with a bit of an interesting one, that is to say the least. And yeah, you think, okay, 5v5, it's traditional Overwatch. You think 6v6 is OG Overwatch. You think 4v5, maybe a team's missing a player. Maybe it's Gen G versus Team Peps from the other day when Exodial had his internet crash out. But now we're not seeing any of those. Now we're seeing a 3v5.
3v5. So that means that two players are just missing entirely on that team. That's crazy. I just want to, like, you know, sort of like process that real fast, you know? There are two players missing on the side of the Mohawks. How are you feeling about that, Jerry?
So I think the question I ask myself is, what roles do they not play? Are we just gonna not have like a support? Are we just gonna like try and play 1-1-1? Like, I'd imagine 1-1-1 would make the most sense. Yeah, that's what they're gonna go for. They have Mason on the Reaper. They got Bucky on the Diva. Frosty Fights on the Lucio. Like, these are three strong players. You got to give them credit where credit is due. I've been casting Mohawk for a while. I know that they have that impact within each and every one of their players to be able to make strong, explosive plays by themselves without any doubts. But a 5v3, and Hempfield isn't a slouch either. Hempfield, I think, made it to a championship last year in Division 2. I might be wrong on that. I think it's true, but
I do want to say that these heroes that they chose are definitely good heroes in my opinion. Lucio and, looks like Mason's already going to go ahead and take out Void. That's one support already down. That's actually pretty good for Mohawk's side. But there is going to be a D-Mech as well on Bucky, forcing him way back and possibly just going to have him go out because of that.
Honestly, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that. I don't love the Lucio in this scenario because you don't have excessive healing. And when your Diva's getting burned down by 5 people, we kind of saw that exactly be what happened, where they just kind of fell down to 100 HP. And then Frosty Fights can't maintain the healing output as they're playing Lucio. I'd prefer maybe a BAP, maybe a Kiriko, maybe an Ana. I think any of those options could be a little bit more pivotal. I think a main support here is a little bit silly, I can't lie. But we'll see what they can find. Obviously, we are just going to be looking towards a bit of a 1v1 in the backlines. Mason finds the first. Frosty down as it is a 2v4 once more. As the wall is going to come up, limiting space, isolating picks as Mohawk still going to be left without much remaining as they still successfully find another team fight.
You know, I do also want to just give a shout out to Mohawk as well, because they've been also able to like find a good couple picks here and there in these team fights. Now, I didn't really expect, I felt as though a 5v3 would just be, you know, a wash through and through, but it seems like Mohawk is putting up a good fight on this map so far.
The Diva swap is certainly interesting. Moving over towards the Zarya, you are able to beam right through the defense matrix, giving you a little bit more impact on the battlefield. The state of the game goes a little bit closer to your way, but Maystone with a triple kill, making it all go their favor. As not even that, it's a Quadra taking down the mech, but that's about all they're gonna get. Maystone taking the game by storm, but still, Hempfield hands themselves another crushing blow, as now there's gonna be 2 ults coming back into the battlefield, but Frosty Fights with a beat in hand. Bucky with their orb as well. Gonna look to make something happen. There's gonna be the Immor field out just to make sure nothing goes awry, but Bucky still is gonna fall down as Ryan is sleepy. Picks up 1, picks up a double. There's gonna be the Shrouded Steps as they try and make their way back through as the Wraith form deactivates. Mason in a 1v5 as nothing goes their way. The remech is there, and that's overtime to be relinquished as Mohawk takes a bit of what you'd expect. I can't say anybody would expect differently.
Most definitely. I do want to. I mean, we all knew that this would end up with Hempfield coming out victorious, simply because you can't win a 3v5 unless you're just the best players in the world. And unfortunately, we can't all be the best players in the world all at the same time, all the time. So things like this do happen. But I do also want to give a shout out to Mason for that insane blossom, especially against the Diva, who has the ability to matrix that ultimate ability. Such a good display of knowledge and positioning and everything else. You know, if I were to hit that ult, I would want to do like the Reaper emote after, and I wouldn't feel like a cornball after that, just because of how good it was. You know?
Yeah, it has. It's been rough. It's been rough for sure. And Hempfield with these 5 players, you really look towards this team as a bit of an unbreakable diamond, something that can't be shattered. They keep together steady and in the wake as the Void going to be taking their first kill. Frosty fights down off of the swap to the Mercy. Bucky takes the next to fall. And it really makes you kind of wonder, right? Like, this roster, this Phantom Blood, Hempfield is just so fast when it comes to being able to just dominate throughout this entire game. They keep on swiftly taking the point, and Mohawk just doesn't seem to have an answer, and that's to be expected. This team is 2-0, and it's tragic that they've been struck in with a 3v5 this early within the season to physically cut off the momentum that they've been gaining.
Mason's able to pick up one more. That's Captive Sun. Ari's ult's gonna go ahead and fall down on the Symmetra here, but Mason's gonna go ahead and fall to Ryan is sleepy, simply because there's just nothing you can do against these numbers. You can only do so much, but sometimes you just have to go ahead and accept that you can't win, unfortunately.
And we are going to be seeing the Sim turrets setting up once more as Captive Sun going to be pushing this out. I think it's interesting having the same name as a League of Legends ability, playing a character not like very similar, but at least a little bit similar to same character. I mean, Captive Sun is... Oh, it's also an Overwatch ability, isn't it? It's in both games.
It's the Ari's ultimate ability, yes.
I was thinking about League, but oh my god, oh, that's tragic. Oh, the whip shot. Oh my god, Hempfield getting away with it once more. The TP going to be completely capitalized upon as Mohawk taking another team fight. This is, I don't know why, but I kind of expected this.
Yeah, it's wild almost, you know? It's like something that you just know is not going to go in the favor of one team. It's just one of those things, you know? A wall's gonna go and get ignited to trap them in the spawn. This is honestly kind of... would you consider this unethical?
I think, okay, if we're talking ethics here, I don't know if we're allowed to say this, but I'd say it's a little bit more unethical on the side of Mohawk. Because, like, how are we even playing a 3v5 here, right? Like, I don't know. I think at a certain point, you just gotta, like, take the forfeit. But, you know, it is going to be Hempfield taking a 1-0 lead. Mohawk certainly not having the game they would have hoped for, but it isn't looking down and out. They were able to find a couple kills. We saw Mason putting up a decent masterclass performance within the Reaper gameplay with the Death Blossom. Found a 4K. Almost was able to find a ton of value. And unfortunately, right at the end, we're actually going to be seeing that as the play of the game.
It seems like, yeah, as you mentioned as well, Mason was a force to be reckoned with. He had that determination that you honestly would see in a lot of TV shows and like a lot of different animes, like things like Blue Lock, you know. Have you ever played Overwatch with, you know, your, what is it, the title on the line, things like that? That's how Mason was playing. He was playing as if it was, you know, title on the line. He was giving it his all, and that's just the plays that you want to see out of almost all the players that you like. Do you have within your Overwatch league, you know? So I just want to give big props to Mohawk for just having that determination to keep on pushing and keep on going.
Yeah, it certainly is rough if you're on the side of Mohawk. Maybe they'll have there's 5 players in lobby. You got to imagine that playing another game would be rough. It seems as if that's not going to be the case. Huh.
So from the looks of it, looks like we're gonna have another game of a 3v5. That seems like it's gonna be interesting.
Wait, is that real? Wait,
oh wow.
You can clarify this, but I think our producer might be trolling a little bit. No? Am I idioting it? I don't think I am idioting it. Okay, well, I guess if I totally thought players could join mid-game. I never thought there was anything wrong with that, but I suppose if that's an issue, that's an issue.
Okay, well, I guess we just have to go along with that, you know. So
well, looks like we're coming up. Game number 2. Oh my god.
Another 3v5. Oh man. Okay, if you were Mohawk in this situation and you were playing against Hempfield with only 2 of your teammates, Cherry, what would you do in that situation? How would you? You said what?
I think like I don't care. Actually, maybe if you're like an OWCS team playing against a PIA team, but in like 99% of scenarios, you are not winning a 3v5. Like that's just not a feasible thing. Unless you have like a top 500 Widowmaker player who's going to be able to pop the head off like 4 people at once. Maybe that's the idea. Maybe someone on the Widow, give him a mercy pocket, try and make something like that happen. But I don't think that's feasible, because then it's like, what, you swap Ramatra or Winston and then just run them down. Like, what do you even do at that point? Answer is nothing. Like, I don't know. I don't think this is a feasible win.
I honestly, I'd say so as well. There are some things that you could probably do here and there, but you know, after a while, if you keep on trying towards a victory here with what we see, you're gonna just look like a cornball trying toward the victory, because it's not gonna like happen. It's looking quite bleak for these 2 games, but as you did say, they are down but not out. We could see a resurgence in Mohawk's play. We could see a resurgence in Mohawk's dominance. So we just have to wait and see how the rest of these games go out.
Yeah, it does seem like there is going to be a bit of a timeout before that, however, as Mohawk will be taking a little bit of a timeout to just kind of get their thoughts together, hopefully get a player. I think if it's a 5v4, Mohawk definitely has the potential to be able to win. If it's like a 5v4 and it's like close, you can say like, oh yeah, you know, maybe there's going to be the opportunity for them to win. If they have that 5th player, they'll be able to make something happen. And then if it's like a 5v4 and they can't win a single fight, then you can be like, okay, maybe even if that 5th player comes, it won't change too much. Here, nothing matters. I genuinely just like don't know how to even describe how this game is gone. If they have a 4th player, they might be able to win. Depends on how good they're looking. I think that the side of Hempfield in general, though, just looks pretty strong. They're a solid team overall. They have a lot of kind of experience playing against these higher level teams. They're from this kind of mid-eastern PA region, which is probably kind of, you look towards like historic PIA teams. You really do see champions arise from this kind of region that Hempfield is located in all the time. So they have that kind of standing with them in that regional, at least in a little bit of an advantage. But I think overall, the kind of Crusaders that they've kind of marched behind, it really does kind of give them that bit of an advantage in terms of any matchup that they're going to play into, as this is a team that really does show a lot of dominance each and every time.
I would agree so as well. Honestly, from what we saw, based off of this last match, I'd say Hempfield is very much a team that we have to watch out for. You know, as we just saw already, as I just said as well. You know, it's something that I was able to see quite a lot whenever I was watching. Just a bunch of coordination amongst each other and a bunch of confidence within their roles. That's something that a lot of teams will lack here and there, but you'll know you have a good team when you can see players act like that. Whenever players have confidence within their roles and confidence within their teammates, you just have beautiful plays, and that's just pretty much what we saw here and there. Although it was mostly against 3 other players instead of 5, it was still good coordination, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just rough. It's just rough. And I think Mohawk, if they do get that 4th player, I would like to see some kind of compositional changes. I think Mason on the Reaper looked very strong. I think that Bucky could stay on the Zarya. I think the Zarya or the D.Va would work well. I'd like to see a double support mix coming in. Put Frosty Fights back onto the Lucios. We know they have experience capable of being able to pilot such a difficult character in of their own right. And then get a 2nd player on that flex support role. That certainly would find a lot of value, in my opinion. Maybe get a 4th player to run the hit scan role as well. That's also an option that they could try and adapt towards. But it really is going to come down to, will they be able to shoot better than their opponents, find those early picks, take it to a 4v4, stabilize and win fights. If they can do that, then this certainly could go their way. But onto a map like Blizzard World, where there's so many opportunities to be able to go for those these flank patterns, it really can be even more pivotal in that 4v5, as you get a lot more opportunities to be able to strike while the iron's hot and find these early wins in engagements.
I wanted to ask you something really fast. So whenever they go for a double support, do you think that a damage forward support, such as like Zenyatta or Baptiste, would be the better option as a flex support versus any others or anything
Not
else
the Zen.
like
Not the Zen at all, but I think the BAP could work. I think that if you ran the Zenyatta, what's going to happen is all 5 of your opponents are going to walk at you, and then like you're not going to have the healing or damage output to be able to match them, and then the Zen's going to be the first target on that priority list, on that chopping block. And as soon as they die, you're back up into the same position you were just in. It's a 3v5, and it just gets rough. If you have the Baptiste, it becomes a little bit more manageable, as there's some self-healing involved. You have the immortality field to keep yourself sustained, keep yourself healthy. And then once you get the second perk online, that major perk, getting a little bit of a dash involved as well into the action, it gets a little bit more pivotal when it comes to your survivability. It goes skyrocketing towards that higher end when you have a bit of movement in your side, and I think that's something both teams are certainly going to be looking towards.
I do also want to point out that one of Baptiste's perks is that he can also move to the side while in air. That's a great addition to Baptiste's mobility, and that's also something that I do want to highlight, since you did talk about how movement is very important within supports in Overwatch. I think that having Baptiste have that little side thing can be really helpful here as well. You already mentioned that Baptiste is the better support for damage forward, but his mobility along with that air dash is amazing for traversal, in my opinion, especially for if you have a 4v5 situation, which we're hoping we're going to have here soon. So honestly, I'd say that along with what you also mentioned is a great reason as to why Baptiste is the best candidate for this situation.
It kind of makes me wonder, right? Like, have they been playing all their games in a 4v5? Because if so, you got to give props to them for sure. Because right now they are number 1 in terms of standings on the PEN Conference. I don't know. Maybe that's the case. Obviously, at a 2-0 standing, you really do got to give credit where credit is due. One of their games did go the distance to a 3-map series already, so they certainly do have experience playing these longer, drawn-out series, but I don't know if we're going to get there, as we are going to be starting us off. 3v5 will still be the action coming into Blizzard World. As of now, it certainly seems as if this game is going to be a bit similar to what we've already discussed.
Most definitely. It definitely does seem like that's going to be the case, but I'm hoping that things are going to be a little different here. Hopefully that that Mohawk can get a little bit more headway in here and, you know, make a little bit of a lasting impact on this game.
Certainly going to be a rough situation if you are on this back foot, but we're just going to have to bide our time, see what these teams do have in store for us, as we are going to be getting a Pharah Mercy to come out. So certainly an interesting pickup, and yeah, we'll see what they can get, as it is going to be a bit of an option that could find dividends. If your opponents don't seem to be running that hit scan, running something like the Pharah Mercy can create a bit of an unideal position to be in. And the Life Weaver as well kind of creates a bit of a question mark in my mind in the situation of how is this going to connect to the rest of the roster? Are we all just pivoting onto Mason?
The only thing that I see fit in this composition is you farm Barrage with the Mercy Pocket, and whenever you get in danger, Life Weaver will pull you out. Or if the Diva matrixes you, Life Weaver will pull you out. But we don't see that here, as Ryan and Sleepy goes ahead and takes out Mason, forcing Bucky and Frosty Fights to fall all the way back, because they just simply don't have damage. They only have one damage person on their team.
Definitely going to be a rough situation, as we already do see this Hempfield roster taking a bit of an aggressive stance up towards the start of the staircase as Mason falls. Looks like some more kills will be following in pursuit, as Ryan Sleepy taking another kill double inning actually, and
looks like Mason might be able to make it over towards the point. He's able to almost pick up one.
There.
Is he able to get out in time? No, he missed the concussive blast. Unfortunately, he's not able to get out. That's unfortunate so far. We've had... Oh, is that BM? Captive Son, is he teabagging?
Ban him! No bad manners in my PIA lobby. The 3v5 goes in favor of Mohawk now. I don't know. We'll see what
I mean, they swapped over to the Venture, but the Venture also falls. They're just trying to find something to take out Hempfield, and so far Hempfield is looking like they're not letting up at all.
I don't know.
This is
I think it's pretty close.
Back to the Farah. Back to the Farah here.
I mean,
think
you're probably
I would opt for like maybe Azaria or a Symmetra, maybe someone that can beam past the D.Va, because they're just in the face of Mason for the entirety of the fights.
Yeah, I don't mind the Pharah Mercy. I think it works. The problem is when you're running the Pharah Mercy without a tank, and instead you have a Life Weaver as a third person. And I think that's going to cause like a bit of distress towards your sustainability as a roster, and I just don't understand it. Maybe there's a reason that I'm not getting, but I just don't see it.
I mean, the only thing I could think about is that Life Weaver's pull, but we haven't really seen much of that yet. We've seen it maybe once or twice with these dives, but so far, oh, Mason's able to pick up one support. That's really, really good. Really good for this one right here.
Gonna be seeing a bit of an aggressive stance taken as Mason instantly gonna be falling down as soon as they push on into this firing squad known as Hempfield High School. And Mohawk is just gonna fall down once more as we see 50 seconds remain. 1, 2, maybe 3 fights remain for the Mohawk team. Maybe they can make some magic, but you gotta imagine that these last 40 seconds will result in very little, if anything.
I'm wondering with these last 30 seconds if we're going to see anything. Barrage is going to be online, and there's a Valk being ignited as well, and there's the Barrage. Matrix is there to block most of it, however, so no one's going to fall, as well as the Lamp, but Mason's coming to answer back, getting a kill on Captive Son, and making his way towards the point to see if he can get a touch and see if he can get maybe a tick, maybe something to give them a little bit of an advantage. But it may not be enough as the rest of Hempfield come pouring into the point.
Oh, yep, it seems like Mohawk might have something. They find the first Void down. Bucky's gonna get traded. We do see a bit of an amplification on the spreading out, but the difference is not there as Mohawk will fall down. Almost showing some signs of life, getting to the point, but that will do it. The Blizzard gets pushed on right on after. And that will be it. Mohawk, no time remain. The full hold gonna be there as Hempfield takes a aggressive defensive stance, about to be able to shut the door with only one fight win needed.
Only one fight win needed. This has so far been a very, very interesting series, to say the least. I'm not sure what to think of this. You know, it was fun. I had a great time. How you feeling, Cherry, so far?
I'm feeling. I wouldn't say I'm feeling good. But you know what? I mean, I don't even know what we can say, right? Like, Hempfield keeping up the same composition. Mohawk keeping up the same composition, looking to just kind of play the defensive side with this double support. Roster going to be going on that kind of traditional main support and flex support, so it's something that maybe they'll be able to find value on. I'm not sure if Bucky is their tank player or if they are the support player. If they are the support player, I kind of have to take back what I was saying about the tank being a necessity, as I don't think that playing off the comfort pick is going to be the ideal here. I kind of assumed that they would have been. Frosty fights, I know they do kind of run that Lucio traditionally, so making the play over towards this Life Weaver, not sure if it's just to try and get a little bit of practice in or what the idea is. I'm not sure. I mean, I know that This team is definitely good. They have that opportunity to be able to win in a 5v5, and unfortunately, when they're not in that, it is kind of rough. But we are going to be seeing a bit of an aggressive stance taken, overextending a bit, limiting this Mercy range, but Bucky is inevitably going to be able to get back onto them. Void down. Finding this first pick might be enough, but Hempfield with the back cap. Oh, that's tragic.
C9. That's unfortunate. But, I mean, can you really count that as a C9? They didn't have a full team. But it looks like it's showtime as we have Ryan Asleep be getting a play of the game on the Diva. That was... Oh, that was a TP to the ball. I see now. I was going to say, how did they end up getting two? Looks like they TP'd there. But looks like game number 2 is going to be over. Cherry, what's your take?
Yeah, but I was a liar. We do have a third game. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be going to another one right after this at 4:45 p.m. EST. You can void us, or you can watch not Wyoming, that's in Reading. Wyoming Valley West High School versus Central Buck South High School, taking on in the Division 2 Overwatch in the PIEA. We are going to be seeing clashes of titans as both teams are looking to get on into it, but that's going to be in a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure not to go anywhere as we will be back with more PIEA action right after this. What it do? What it do? We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Wyoming Valley West taking on the Central Bucks Titans for game number 3 of the night. As we got CB South on our right, taking on the red side, Wyoming Valley West on the blue. But I guess on the actual image you guys are seeing, it would be the opposite, as they're on the red and Central Bucks is on the blue. Wow, I was looking in-game. Wow, that's crazy, guys. I'm low-key so embarrassed now. But look at what we got. We got a fantastic matchup within Division 2 of the BIA Overwatch 2025-2026 school year. My name is Sherry J, joined once by Act on One E-Man. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Probably how you pronounce it.
That is how you pronounce it. You're right. Yeah,
that's how you pronounce it. Oh my God.
Act One E-Man.
That's teamwork. Teamwork. Oh my God.
Makes the dream work. You're so right, Sherry.
This is some high Q type stuff. I don't even know.
Exactly. This is like one of those like dynamic duo things that you see, like those buddy cop movies, things like that. It's
Shaq and Kobe. Shaq and Kobe.
Exactly, Shaq and Kobe. That's us right there.
That's us.
Oh, I'm so excited for this cast. I'm ready to see. These two teams are very strong contenders, as from what I've heard, from what I've seen as well. So I'm excited to see how this game goes about. We have seen some good Overwatch gameplay, so I'm expecting to see that, if not better, you know? So
I want to see another 3v5.
Another
another 3v5.
I don't know.
Players in lobby. I want to see another 3v5. I think it'll be really fun. I think it'll be really silly. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Give us Busan. I think Busan is a fun map, and I like to see CB South take a bit of a dominant stance. I think that's very likely. Wyoming Valley West, we've seen them show dominance within previous years. This year, they've been, I think, doing well. Let's I don't know. I didn't get to actually take a look, but I believe if we take a look at their current standing, Wyoming Valley West currently 1-1 within the Colonial Division, barely out of the top 8 squads. Meanwhile, the CB Titans, both their A and B team, are looking good. You got to give credit where credit is due. One of them 2-0, the other one also 2-0. So clearly, this roster littered with talent across every which corner you look towards. As we are going to be heading on to Busan in just a little bit, we will see the compositions loading through for both rosters.
So far, we're just waiting to see who chooses what as we begin to pick. And as we see so far, we have a Mercy Morial in Wyoming Valley West, along with a Ramantra on the tank line. Over in the Central Bucks South side, we have a little bit of a poke with Sigma, along with Anna, as well as Freya. These are really strong poke heroes, and this might be a really bad idea if Ramantra is going to use form, because that's just a whole bunch of things that he's going to have going right towards him, and he has no shield to do anything about it.
Certainly looking like both teams poised to find succession, as we do see some pretty standard compositions across both lines, with a double hit scan appearing for Wyoming Valley West on this blue roster, taking some shots, taking a little bit of damage over towards the shield. Central Bucks South looking to appear towards the right side of the map by matching this poising position that Wyoming Valley West has staged themselves on, keeping this aggression. First kill there. Blaze plays off the board. Tree finds this success as the dynamite reigns supreme, getting a bit of impact, as now Wyoming Valley West going to have complete control over the point.
And these are some great shots that Sopo is putting up over on the right side. No one seems to be contesting them so far, as they do get a damage boost from Mercy as well. Another dynamite is going to go and get ignited to take out the Sigma, and it's going to be able to get the point over toward Wyoming Valley West.
Already seen CB South looking to possibly make some swaps as Blaze plays, maneuvering back towards the spawn. Never mind, they keep... I like this a lot. I think that right now in the current meta, the state of the game, we look towards the current state of this character is so impactful. You really don't see anything wrong. The bullet shot is such an important ultimate when it comes to being able to isolate 1v1s, force out abilities like the cleanse, and Blaze plays picking it up certainly does show a level of kind of just cohesiveness that this roster puts in, as they don't care. They're going to play towards the meta no matter what, and even if it's an off roll, even if it's an off pick, they still go for it. Tree finds the first. We see the cleanse already out. They go aggressive as Noah going to be forcing out so much utility and finding the double kill. Both supports down as the CB Titans crumble.
And I just want to say, Not Noah has a great understanding of just abilities entirely, as they waited for everything to go ahead and get exhausted in terms of cooldown for the enemy team before they went ahead and used their shift ability, their form, and annihilated the rest of the team to go and secure the point for Wyoming Valley West. No one on Central Buck South has been able to touch the point in about 69%, so it's been a little bit.
We're already crossing that 70 mark as Central Buck South needing to find some kind of reaction to make this game go their favor, but as of now it just seems as if they are just in such a precarious situation. No work being done for this roster, and Wyoming Valley West just sticking to the point. Valkyrie gets extinguished as they push forward with the raining down missiles. The kills come in. Christius finds the res off of Moonslayer down. Tree gets another. The Buzz fan out. And that's going to leave the Titans with no more to find, as Wyoming Valley West will secure a dominant map number 1.
I do think that just having a Bastion be able to use the form at the right time and the right abilities being used around Central Buck South just makes it a very one-sided affair so far. It seems like Wyoming Valley West is really good at just being patient, waiting for Central Buck South to go ahead and make any minor slip up, and then they take full advantage of that slip up. And I do believe that that's just the game plan that they're probably going to stick with for the rest of the series, but so far it's been working very well for them.
Certainly looking good. It's as you said, this team, they're firing on all cylinders. As now the CB Titans moving long over to Gary, making Braden on this Mercy pick. As picking up a relatively standard backline. You don't traditionally see the Mercy played in these high-level games, but Gary does have some compatibility for sure. Cleanse already brought out as Braden gonna try and pocket the Sojourn of Blaze Plays, looking to get some value. Now the Titans have their isolated Ramatra trying to pick up the majority of this damage, trying to mitigate it from the rest of the team. As Tree's already picking up the first, Memer falling down, as the CB Titans going to be losing another team fight, as Wyoming Valley West will be able to pick up where they left off. The momentum continues to shift in their favor.
And I do also want to say that I was kind of expecting to see a Suzu come out from Ronglong over to Memer to keep him alive during that moment, but it didn't seem like it was going to come out. I think that these small decisions by the supports really makes or break a team fight. You know, since you have Suzu being such a strong ability, you can't really just have it be wasted on just about anything. You need to take care of it and use it very wisely.
Dynamite finding its marks as Braden's going to be able to get the res. Ronglong back onto the engagement. Memer, low HP line, needing to find that support, needing to get healthy once more as the Dynamite coming back on into the action, connecting again. Memer down, Tree finds another, as that's the CB Titans forced into another relinquished engagement, not going to be able to connect any kills. Instead, it's a complete team wipe as CB South not going to be able to get anywhere near this point.
It seems like, once again, Sopo is just not getting contested over on an off angle. We saw that originally in the first round, where there was just an off angle taken by Sopo, and they just had free reign to shoot at and do whatever they please. But so far, it seems like they might be starting to get contested a little bit, but their attention is slowly or immediately drawn away from the Ashe up top.
There's the kill as Memer falls. The CB South roster, less hope of map 1 with Valkyrie popped, trying to get this tank out of their backlines, but not Noah, just putting them in such an awkward position, leaving them with little, if any, respect, as there is going to be the pop of this Kitsune Rush, trying to make some kind of plays, but as of now, just so much damage getting mitigated by the block from this Ramatra on the opposite side, not Noah giving them any space to work with. And now we are going to be seeing the Bastion turret phase mounted as Tree picks up another kill. There's both supports down as not Noah pops the Annihilation to secure this map, as there is just going to be the light touches coming in from Memer, who will eventually crumble as Wyoming Valley West will pick up map number 1 in early succession.
Goodness gracious, Wyoming Valley West just had a very dominant performance here, as we saw just two rounds in one game going straight towards them. They they were just showing that they were the better team so far. Based off of what we saw, I do think Central Bucks South needs to go back to the drawing board and figure out what is working and what isn't. I do want to see some more dive. I mentioned a little bit earlier that, you know, Sopo was on a couple off angles, just not being contested whatsoever. If they had like a dive, say like a Winston or a Hazard or things like that to combat Sopo in those off angles, I feel like a lot of the game will be shifted into the favor of Central Bucks South.
Certainly seems like CB South has that opportunity to make the comeback, but it really will come down to how they're going to be able to make this next game to go their way as we move on to hybrid. It certainly is going to be a bit of a tide turner if they can't make their stance here. It's going to look like it's just going to be down and out. As there was certainly a tone set in that last map, as nobody can deny the fact that Wyoming Valley West looks like an absolutely vitalized team, popping off, completely dominating the battlefield, giving no room to the CB Titans to work with, as everyone on that roster just looked so good, giving nothing over to the Titans. And now they move on to map number 2, getting to pick between that attack defense side. We tend to see teams opting in for the defense side to be able to close the game out swiftly and easily, but we are going to actually see the side of CB South making a couple role swaps. We look towards Brayden to the tank, as also we're going to be seeing Long taking on to the DPS and Memer moving to support. So a lot of changes across the board. We'll see what this is going to be able to kind of change regarding the composition that these two teams are going to run towards, but you'd imagine that they're going to at least change a couple roles. They're not going to go with that same tried and true that they were opting into map 1. They want to make some changes, and I'm all for it.
I'm honestly all for it as well. I think that any changes that you can make that you believe will give you an advantage are things that you just need to make in these situations. Based off of what we saw from Wyoming Valley West, there's not much that Central Bucks South really can do in the face of Wyoming Valley West. So they do have to go back to the drawing board. And that does also mean just making those changes to roles as well as heroes. You know, so these changes I do think are a great thing for Central Bucks South to go ahead and do for the rest of the series.
Certainly, we're going to have to wait and see, though, as you really do look towards both these teams as some crazy momentum being built. And I don't know. This kind of starts to be where these stories get built up, right? We're already halfway through the start of the PIA 2025-2026 school year, and I'm already seeing some rivalries formed by these teams, some teams looking to get on through, take those championships home, and this is exactly where you got to start that off. This kind of momentum and the mental shifting going into your favor certainly is something that both these teams will look towards as a bit of a plus. If not, I mean, I don't know what you're doing, because if you go down to a team here this early, it starts to beg the question of how many more teams are we going to lose to? What happens next? How are we going to come back? And if you can't do that, it certainly is a bit distraughting.
Looks like we just loaded up into the map. We are going to be on Kings Row here on the hybrid. One of my favorite hybrid maps, to be honest. How do you feel about this one, Cherry?
I can't complain. I mean, it's all right. You look towards these schools, though, like Wyoming Valley West last year having a very stellar performance, 7-0 within the spring 2025, putting up regardless of how you imagine, a dominant performance all around. With a dominant performance like that, I don't know how else you can even describe what they're going to do this time. And obviously, you kind of look towards teams like CB South last year. They did not have a plethora of rosters like what we currently witness. However, the one team they did have had a very distraughting end to their previous season after moving up towards the Elite Division after having a near flawless season in the fall, only falling down to the CB West. This time, it looks like they're going to be coming in with a hot start.
Looks like we do have the first instance of a Wuyong from Central Bucks South, but he does already fall down to not Noah from the Ramatra. A lot of fighting going in back and forth. Ramatra's going to go ahead and use form. It's going to force Brayden all the way back to a D-Mech as well with the May. There's nothing you can do against all that damage going towards you, as Moonslayer is going to pick up Brayden for that kill, and that's going to be the first team fight going towards Wyoming Valley West's favor.
You tend to see teams frequently opting in for the defense after winning that first map, and it does seem to be this time having no changes to that script, as this allows them to be able to find early success and just sweep the series away. But CB South, will they go down falling? That's the question that they're asking themselves. Wrong Long already down on the Tracer. Not getting any impact as Not Noah going to be able to clear them up. We look towards Sopo, who's being a little bit... I don't think they know how the character works.
Yeah. Wuyang's healing is on his right click and not his left, unfortunately. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. No, you're not mistaken. No, you're definitely not mistaken.
I think it's just more so he's figuring out how the hero works. I mean, it is preseason, so I guess now is the time.
We can say that. Yeah. It's the time. Now's the time. Now is not the time. Everyone watching, now is not the time to try new characters. Please go back to the Mercy Kiriko. It worked. It made you look like you could win the game. I don't know. Tree's gonna have to be forced out of the ice block. We will be seeing the rockets coming out. Braden finding one. Moonslayer down. Wrong Long taking another. This is the most winnable fight they've had so far. Off of the resurrection. Not Noah picks up a double. And that's the kill feed going blue. As it's all gonna be the side of Wyoming Valley West to clear up that team fight. Regardless of how it looked at the start, there's nothing that's gonna bring them back on into it.
So many things were going into Central Buck South favor on that dive there. As soon as Braden dove in towards that backline, you just thought that things were going to go ahead and go that favor. But Not Noah said no by just pressing Q and igniting that annihilation. Looks like he went ahead and pressed shift and is going to go ahead and take out the Juno, as Juno's going to go and take out Chris, but there's going to be the Blizzard ignited as Tree's going to pick up the boost fan. Wrong Long trading back on Sopa, but Not Noah and Moonslayer getting the trades back and forth. Tree's going to go ahead and fall to Braden, but Braden is out of mech, so he's going to go ahead and fall not too long after. And Moonslayer's there to pick up Memer for the final kill. Wyoming Valley West still showing a dominant performance here in this series.
Certainly looks like they're not going to allow any type of map 3. It's all up to Blaze Plays with the ult in the hand. Overclock. Poised and ready to be shot up into that forfeiting game. Will they succeed? That's the question, but you don't want to bring it down right here. Blaze Plays activates the overclock. Not finds anything. Tree gets the next. Braden out of mech. Down as well. Not Noah going to be able to pick out onto Memer, who's a little bit staggered behind as they put down the vortex. It's all going to be up to one last shot, but Memer is down. You don't have your support. Bringing this back on into your favor. Wrong Long trying to get across through the shadows, but Not Noah instantly clears them out of the position. As Not Noah, just with this annihilation back onto the front of this game, it certainly seems like it's going to be done and dusted as the CB Titans, one last chance, one last miracle needed to bring it back.
Just like that, Wrong Long's able to take out Sopo with the Death Blossom. Such a great use there. However, he is going to fall, and Sopo's going to get res there. Not Noah taking out 2, and Sopo taking out Memer, and one more as well, and there it is. Overtime has been ignited, and Wyoming Valley West remain on the point with Central Buck South back to the spawn room.
The CB Titans unable to find much, as that is going to be a full hold. Wyoming Valley West with a dominant strike to this first map. It's going to be certainly looking like it is the CB Titans to fall down once more, coming on through. So we've seen this roster, the CB South team, they've been poised with so much success within the past. We know currently we got players on this roster who are so good. Braden, a phenomenal player when it comes to the Valorant season. Memer as well in their own respect towards Smash Bros. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that impact is transferring over towards the Overwatch season. Or maybe that's just Wyoming Valley being that good. As we look towards a lot of these players who are just so impactful. When it comes to your tank, Not Noah has been unwavering in their defensive capabilities, keeping the defense alive on the Ramatra, swapping over. The Reinhardt comes out, looking to show their true hero pool. Tree going to be keeping up the Mei, a great combination that you really got to give props for. Running this Mei with the Rein allows you to be able to isolate targets and then just swing that hammer right on into them.
And I do want to say, having a Reinhardt on King's Row is just a classic move, and it's something that I think you should always really expect. So I think that's probably why Not Noah went with the Ramatra first, just to see if he can counter that Rein. But now that he's on the attack, he's going to use that Reinhardt and try to run all over Central Buck South. And there it is. The charge comes out immediately as Not Noah has forced way back because there's a bunch of damage waiting for him. Moonslayer is gonna go ahead and take out Wrong Long, and Sopo's gonna take out the Blues fan. And I think this might just be the point going to the Wyoming Valley West, as everyone is falling left, right, and center to not know his hammer swings and Moonslayer's right click of doom.
That's the CB Titans down for the count as it's a 2-0 victory with Wyoming Valley West taking a strong week 3 in the PIEA, dominating their opposition and showing why they are champions of the Division 2 PIEA 2025-2026 school year. We'll see whether or not they can keep it up later on in the season, but right now it looks like they're certainly a team to contend for that championship win.
This was genuinely a great display of prowess, Overwatch prowess from Wyoming Valley West. I mean, just having them be able to be this patient, this tactical, and this coordinated as a team is just showing that you're just, I'd say you're just a better gamer. That's all I'd have to say about it. That's pretty much what I would think.
It's certainly looking good for Wyoming Valley West. CB Titans got a little bit more to work with, as definitely not their week this one, but whether or not they will allow this to keep being out of their favor or whether or not they will bring it back next week, that's all up to them. Hit the VOD room, hit the training exercises in the range. That's what they got to look towards. And as of now, I'll give you guys one last quote to end off before we head out for the night. This is from the coach of the Central Bucks South team. Why is my D2 team facing a D1 team? End quote. And you know what? I am asking the same thing because I have no
incredible question.
But you know what? That's all I'm going to say, because Wyoming Valley West, they are a Division 1 team. We see that in the standings. We see that in everything like that. CB South, they are a Division 2 team. So why this happened, who knows? So you really got to give CB South a lot of credit. They were able to win fights. They looked good against a team that's in a higher division than them. But yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely a very one-sided match and a one-sided victory. But as you said, you know, Central Bucks South still showed a great performance. You know, I did see a bunch of good plays and a bunch of good moments from their team. You know, it's a shame that it was like this, but there's still good players and good plays on either side. So the season may have just started, but it is not over yet.
Yeah, absolutely. As both teams certainly looking poised to be able to find a lot of impact. And that is going to be it from us here on the desk. Thank you all so much for tuning in. That is our final match of the night. But ladies and gentlemen, not it for the entire night, as there is still going to be PIEA going on the Esport Company stream. And make sure to head over there, as I believe they have some more matches happening right as we speak. Big games heading all around tonight as well. We got, I believe, Rocket League, Smash Bros, Valorant. Valorant, Smash Bros is tonight, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Some more stuff coming on through, as there's going to be a lot of games. Make sure to stay tuned for the rest of the week, as we got Marvel Rivals, Rocket League, Valorant action all your way. And that's it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Peace out.